name's Madeline and I'm a gardener in Edmonton, Alberta. Today I'm just going to talk about starting seeds indoors and how to get started for the season if you're a beginner and not sure where to start. So we'll talk about starting seeds, planning, and what you need to get ready. The first step is to create your location for planting. So your options are in-ground, raised beds, or containers, and I do a little bit of each. But that's a whole other video which I'll post at another time. Here we have my basic setup with everything you need to get started. So first of all, you'll want to purchase your seeds in advance. If you're like me, you would probably order them from a place like TNT Seeds or West Coast Seeds and have them coming in February. But if you haven't done that, don't worry, you can just pop over to the store and get some. Here I arrange my seeds from seeds I plan to start indoors to seeds I am going to direct sow into the garden. So those are ready to go. Then for me, I find this very important, is planning your gardens out. I have a backyard and a front yard garden, and this is my backyard vegetable patch. And as you can see, I like to plan in advance. Then I get a calendar and I decide when I need to start my seeds. And I plan them out, have the dates ready. I have started only a couple of seeds so far, and the rest will be closer to the end of April. I find if you start seeds too early, it's not good for the plants at all. When I'm starting the seeds, I use pellets and little planters with lids to put them in. For me, I really like to use a windowsill heat mat. I find that really helps to get the seeds to germinate. So this is where I start my seeds inside. I bought this indoor greenhouse from Lowe's for $45. It has a cover, and sometimes I leave the cover on, sometimes I open it, and then I take the whole shelf unit outside when I'm ready to harden off the plants. So all I've started so far, because these are the earlier starts for my region, are Spanish onions and eggplant. So the Spanish onions I started in the pellets, so they have already started to pop up. So I took them off the heating mat and here they come. Once these grow to the right size, I will transplant them to these pots. That's what I'll do with my tomatoes and anything else that I start in the pellets. For things that I want to sow directly into the ground after, transplant into the ground, I'll start them in these peat pots. So here's my eggplant. It hasn't germinated yet, so I've got a cover over it for now, and it's on the heating mat until it germinates. Then these peat pots can go right into the ground, and it lessens the shock of transplanting for them. So I've got all my pots ready and everything ready to go, but I'm not ready to start more seeds because if I start them too early, the plants will get long and gangly and won't do well. Up here I just have wheatgrass growing because I like to grow that in the winter, just so that I'm growing something. Next week I'll start my tomatoes and everything else closer to the end of April. And these shelves are going to get very, very full. Before I close the video, I'm going to take you on a quick virtual tour of my garden and the wonderful vegetables and flowers it has produced. A couple things I forgot to mention. Once you put your pellets into these pots, those pots will then go on the shelf until they're grown and ready, and then you have to harden them off. I'll have another video about hardening off, but then once they're in these pots will be taken and transplanted in ground into the garden. I also wanted to mention that if you're new and just starting, I highly recommend reading up on gardening. There are many books you can buy, and the top ones that I recommend are Vegetable Gardener's Bible and No Guff Vegetable Gardening. This one's pretty funny. This one is my favorite, and this is my go-to book that I can look up every plant and find what I need to know. But then I need to modify it for my region in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.